Hello, everybody. Fab4 here with some more Mechabellum. And on today's gameplay, my opponent has decided to bring out the wrath of the Phantom of Mechabellum. Maybe it wasn't his fault, but sometimes the game just works like that. So, starting off here, I'm picking up a Fire Badger. It's always good to go with Wraiths. Sorry, I mean Phantom Wraiths. Close sounding names, good enough. But the Fire Badger on rank 2, I can either sell out of it or use it as chaff clear. Getting some good tarantulas and crawlers as well kind of gives me a good strong front line with a good tank unit. Kind of takes some extra shots. Opponent going with a rhino specialist. He also getting tarantulas, but grabbing marksman, which I kind of like this. If he has marksman, it means that if he tries to go aerial specialization, they're not going to be enough to deal with a bunch of phantom rays. And I believe I end up picking a couple marksmen up here as well. Because a lot of times, if I'm thinking about what's the unit that's going to help go with Phantom Rays, and sometimes marksmen are just enough to get that extra shot on maybe a larger unit, and then the Phantom Rays can finish it off. Because what you're kind of looking for with Phantom Rays is to get levels on them as quick as you can. That way, their techs will start supporting them even better. You know, if you have armor, you're blocking extra damage. If you have shield, you're just adding extra health. And that's pretty much the only two I'd probably say are worth it and somewhat situational. Like with these, I'd say shield. He has nothing that's like Mustangs or Typhoons, so it's not going to do a ton of quick damage. We ended up going asim aggro on opposite sides, but having crawlers on my end, it means I can push in the tower faster. Getting the tower here is going to help this tarantula take a few less shots from these marksmen. And the crawlers coming in too are nice, but the marksman end up finishing off his marksman. This tower take is kind of bad, slows down the crawlers from getting to the other tower. But in the end, they reach. And it goes down fast, and with that, I'm able to clean up the rest of his units. All right, on to round 2. I get my Fire Badgers as well. And as you can see, it's time for the Phantom of Mechabellum to come out of the shadows. Now, this is going to be my pick here. We'll see what our opponent picks up. And it might surprise you. He grabs the Rhino. Technically, it's a good aggro pick. I shouldn't say it shouldn't surprise you. But compared to Sledges and I think a Scorpion was the other one, that one could have been wrong. All I really saw was Phantom Rays, and I knew the calling was there. The game knew what I wanted, and it delivered. The Fire Badgers were just a plus. I could have even sold out of them just to grab more Phantom Rays. Because one of my favorite things to do right now is to round 2 or 3 get triple Phantom Rays, and you just flank them. Put one on each corner, one in the middle. Especially this early on, you allow them to teleport in. That way, from future rounds on, you can kind of just give him like cloak or something, or just use whatever it is to counter what he puts up. So if he has marksman, puts up more marksman, you just do a shield or even cloak. I do end up grabbing some crawlers over here as well, and he places the rhinos right in front of my units. Problem is, these phantom rays are going to just clean up the rhinos and get some decent amount of XP too. We can see these phantom rays almost, get 3/4 of their level. And we just move into the tower. He did take my tower a little bit quicker because I don't really have anything here to defend it. But a lot of times, am I really worried about it? I mean, not really. If anything, I could just level up the tower. But I think with this composition, there's not going to be enough. He's only got a couple of marksmen left. They're not going to be able to do enough damage to these phantom rays. And it's just an easy cleanup. All right, getting some cards on round 3. Getting this for Phantom Rays is nice just because I'm usually teching at least 1 or 2 things into them. There's some thought to be like, just skip it, just get more money. But it's nice just in case the rounds go long, you just start picking up all the techs on them. Standard Range Fortress is kind of not really in my cards right now. Improved Fortress could be scary against me if he decides to pick that up, but that just gives me more incentive to, get the game done as fast as possible. Photon Coating could be nice for him for the Rhinos, but probably one of the weaker cards out there, but this efficient tech right now is pretty nice. And then we can see he picks that up as well. Grabbing himself some marksmen and crawlers, setting up a little front line here. And he kind of just finishes up his marksman line, but I decide to grab 2 more Phantom Rays, and I now set up my flanks on him. Having these flanks is nice because usually it's going to be a guaranteed tower take. And then from future rounds here on out, he has to place something here in response. And depending on how hard he tries to counter this, I can kind of just do something else. A lot of times, too, you just put up a deep flank, and then you start building your front board. But obviously, I have other plans this game. And besides, all you need are the Phantom Rays. All right, round 4, just some more cards. Laser Sight. I don't really think I need it for anything. If I wanted to, I could grab it for like a Marksman, put it on a Tarantula. Marksman might be really nice. Fire Badgers clear out these guys, and then the Marksman can just start picking off his own Marksman. Makes it easier for the Phantom Rays to get in. These Rhinos are being dealt with by the Phantom Rays. Absorption Module, nothing really here that I want to put that on. It's more for like Steel Balls, or you can even put it on your melting points as well. But they also just have the absorption anyways you can get tech for. Advanced defense. Some of this I haven't really tried out with Phantom Race. There's still a little more testing I got to do. Kind of with this laser sight as well is what I'm thinking about. I've yet to really see how well range can work with them. But there might be a point where that changes and range might actually be useful. Same with this. Grabbing some of this to kind of boost their health might be really helpful. Maybe against certain unit types that I have to face against, like wasps or something, or maybe melting points are probably not going to be good against, using this to help counter melting points. I don't think it's going to work. So I think I end up getting this nano repair kit. My thinking here is I got a rank 3 Phantom Ray, so just giving it something to heal itself means that even if these marksmen are kind of hitting it, I can still kind of let them heal up. So I end up picking up the Phantom Nano Repair Kit. My opponent, I believe, skipped this round, getting the money, and decides to go 2 more Rhinos with Whirlwind. Because he wants to just get into this tower and take it. Because he's really committed to pushing this side. I think it's because he realizes I'm not doing anything over here. The only problem is, though, I just ranked this tower up, and I could even rank it up a second time if I really wanted to at some point, just make it that much harder for him to take. We can see now he's trying to do some kind of countering here with these crawlers, and over here as well. We're going to see that doesn't really work out as he planned. So these ones do kind of get caught up. They're held up. These crawlers, though, they end up just pulling the Phantom Rays to the tower. Now, these ones do a little bit more work, and they're able to pull them away. But I still have these 6 right here. The other one's over here just doing work. And that nano repair kit's keeping them alive. Then just again, it's just 18-second debuff, and it's time for me to just clean up his board. All right, round 5, we're getting some more units. Opponent here getting arc lights. More than likely, we're going to see here, I think he does have anti-aircraft, so he's using that as some more anti-air. Not really the best. You're going to see why here in a second. And it's also a good lesson for just any kind of game. Me, I end up picking up the Scorpion here, just because it's going to be good for taking out these Rhinos. Vulcan, I don't really see a ton of chaff. Sledges are all right, but they kind of be taken out by so many marksmen as well. And now we're going to see the problem here. I'll pause it here for a second. So the reason he got the arc lights is to get anti-aircraft ammunition, so they can shoot up in the air. They are rank 4, so it's a decent amount of damage, almost 1,400. So they're about three-shotting him, maybe two. But then the other problem is he's now doing aerial specialization on the marksman. So he's doubling down on air, anti-air. The only issue is these guys are just not as strong as you think they are against Phantom Rays. The Arclights maybe are more viable than the marksmen just because their attack speed. And that's the big thing here. The marksmen are good, but their attack speed is too slow. And they'll lock onto one target, or like you'll have three of them lock onto one target, and then they'll all take their shot at the one target, then have to move over to the other. Now, obviously, when you start getting, higher rank Phantom Rays, like, oh, it's, 94, almost 9,500. Obviously, this isn't enough if you're adding all three together. But if we were looking at this rank 2, if you had like a couple of these hitting on there, that would you'd probably need about three of them. About 992. It's actually a little bit short, so you would need about three of them to be able to take out rank 3s with rank 2s. But again, the problem is they all lock onto the same target, do that, while the other two just start working. But of course, now I also pick up the tech. I'll go to a better one here for you guys. That gives the namesake for them. The cloaking. So now the real Phantom of Mechabellum shows his face. And of course, with this, we now complete the triple flank on both sides. And we're going to watch in despair as the Phantom surrounds his board and cleans him up. And so the onslaught begins. He cleans up the right side a little bit, but now this left side's able to push in. We take the left tower, and we take the right tower. 18-second debuff. And he has now lost all of his anti-air. And with this, the Phantom of Mechabellum claims another victim. All right. Another good game complete. Just doing mass raise. Gotta keep my namesake. Being the Phantom of Mechabellum, I must heed the call when it answers. Throw punishment on those that seek to stop my ways. And if you'd like to come check out some live Phantom Ray gameplay, you can find me over on Twitch at twitch.tv/fab4200. Also, if you enjoyed the video, go ahead and give me a like and subscribe to the channel. I try to upload daily as much as I can. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I hope you have a great day.